I'm Movie Man. I'm an octopus that reviews movies, and today's review is going to be on
in real life. Gran Turismo.
Now, you are probably wondering, this film doesn't come out for another 2 weeks. Why are you talking about it? Oh, why, it's simple. Well, because strike and everything is going on right now in Hollywood, Sony, they completely changed up their release schedule. I actually cannot believe Craven has been delayed to August 30th, 2024. Fair enough if they delayed it, but they delayed it to so long. We now have to wait a whole entire year to get this movie. So it looks like we're gonna have to get a new film for October 6th. Hopefully the last voyage of the Demeter gets the October 6th release date, but anyways, so Gran Turismo, literally just 2 weeks before its release in America, it got pushed back to 2 more weeks, now being released August 25th. But that's only the case in America, because, well, over here in Ireland, and also the UK, we still got this movie. Yeah, we actually got a film 2 whole weeks before America did, so, yeah. But anyways, so, let's get into this review. So, Gran Turismo. Now, you guys may remember, back over 3 months ago now, on the day of my YouTube account's 8-year anniversary, I did a video where I reacted to the first full trailer for this movie, and I also reacted to the teaser trailer for Dune Part 2. But anyways, if you will remember that video, I said in it that this was a movie which I honestly wasn't really all too excited for. And it's for pretty, simple reasons. It just looks like a very cliche and predictable plot where, you've seen it many other times and you just know exactly what's going to happen. And yeah, I know this is based on a true story. And oh boy, can I just say, they want to shove the fact that it's based on a true story down your throat. Guys, seriously, we know it's based on a true story, okay? We get it. Yeah, so honestly, the trailer, it just really wasn't doing much for me. It didn't really make me all that excited for the film. And the second trailer didn't really do much for me either. I mean, I thought that David Harbour's character looked quite enjoyable. He kind of looked as if he was going to really carry the movie, but even then it didn't really look like the kind of film that I was going to be a huge fan of. But prior to its release, I had seen some people, on Letterboxd and stuff, with some early reviews and everything, and I had seen some people giving it generally positive reviews. People were saying that it's generally quite good. well, some of the reviews at first they start off kind of average, but like the reviews from critics, they seem to think that's it's all right. Like they don't think it's a brilliant film or an absolutely outstanding movie or anything, but I think it's all right. So with all that in mind, I decided, Mike, I think I'll just give this film a chance. So, anyways, I went to go see this movie today, and I'll be honest, yeah, I actually thought this film was very solid. Now, did I think it was a great movie? No. Did I think it was an absolutely outstanding movie? No. Would I call this one of my favourite movies of the year? No. But, with all of that being said, it was actually overall a pretty good film, and it was actually a lot better than what I was expecting. But anyways, let's talk about this movie. So the cinematography in this film, I think the cinematography throughout this whole movie is very good. I think all this this whole film it's shot pretty well in my opinion. And I think in particular during all the racing scenes and stuff, I think the cinematography is able to really, capture the race scenes and stuff. They're able to capture the scope of everything. So I thought the cinematography in this film sounds very good. The editing in this movie was, for the most part, pretty alright. I thought for the most part this film was edited quite well. I'll be honest, during some of the race scenes, I thought the editing could be a little bit weird at times, but overall, the editing in this movie wasn't that bad. Then there's the pace. So I think the pace in this movie, for the most part, is pretty good. I don't think they really rush throughout most of the scenes, but they don't really drag too much either. Now I'll be honest, in the first act of the movie, the pace wasn't very good because just there was a certain subplot which was really focused on throughout the first act of the movie. And when he gets to the competition, and when he's in the competition and everything, the video game simulator competition competing to, be put into the race, I felt that they rushed through that scene very quickly. Like everything that happens, like a good chunk of what happened before that scene, like they could have just cut all of that out and instead just focus on this scene of Jan like on the simulator and stuff. So I thought the pace throughout the first act of the movie was rather weak, but I'll admit it did improve quite a bit throughout the rest of the movie. I thought the rest of the film was very evenly paced. And so the pace in this film in the first 20 or so minutes wasn't very good, but over time it improved. Then there's the sound and music. Now I think the score in this movie is very good in my opinion. I think it's able to really, it gives you that intense feeling and stuff, and I think the sound effects of all the race cars driving and stuff, it's very good sound effects, and you really do, it really do feels if these they are racing on the track. There's a few songs thrown into the film, and like yeah, they weren't they were in the film alright, but I think one or two of the songs that they had in this movie, they fit into the film rather well in my opinion. So yeah, the sound and music in this movie was solid. Then there's the characters.
I know what I'm doing. I'm not afraid. I've raced this track 1,000 times in the game. Let me drive it my way.
So the main character of the movie, Jan Martinborough, well, of course, obviously he's a real race car driver in real life, and he has the same birthday as me, September 9th. I think Jan is portrayed in this film very well. Like, I think he really does. He does fix the. I think the performance from Archie Madekwe, I think it's able to really capture like that of like the real person of who Jan is. So I think the way they portrays Jan in the film, it was done very well in my opinion.
That's where you come in.
So you think you can do the impossible. I'm here to prove that you can't.
You get tired, you get sloppy, you get hurt, and you lose races! You puked on my lawn.
Then there's his trainer, Jack, who was of course played by David Harbour. In my opinion, Jack was a very good character. In my opinion, he was the standout when it came to the characters. Like, I mean, first off, I mean, he can be very funny at times. Like, I mean, when we first meet him, like, he really pushes the racers alright, but he does prove to be a very likable character. And I mean, David Harbour he does such a great performance in this film. But he's David Harbour, so that's no surprise. And they even did some things with his character. Like there was actually a twist about his character, which I won't spoil, but it was actually very shocking, and I thought it fit so well into the film. So yeah, Jack was the best character in the movie, and he had such a great subplot. The way it fit into the main narrative was done very well.
It's a contest. The best Gran Turismo players in the world get a chance to compete in professional racing.
Then we have Danny Moore, who is the Nissan executive. Now he has like one or two scenes where he can kind of come across as a bit, like kind of a typical executive guy and stuff, who's all about the business and everything, but nonetheless, he actually does prove to be quite a likable character, and not to men, and he is nonetheless, he's a good character. I thought he had pretty good chemistry with Jan and Jack, and also not to mention, it is really nice seeing Orlando Bloom again. Like, man, there's been a lot of Lord of the Rings actors lately showing up and stuff. And now we also have Jan's parents. Now his father, Steve, who was also a real person, and in the film he's portrayed by Djimon Hounsou. And like, I'll be honest, he was really focused on in the first act, in the first 20 minutes or so, like, with this whole subplot about how, he didn't want Yan to become a race car driver and stuff. I'll be honest, I didn't like that whole subplot, in my opinion. It just seemed like such a cliche and predictable subplot, and you don't know where it's gonna go and stuff. But however, they only focused on it for again, maybe the first 10 or 15, 20 minutes. And then once Yan goes and he starts to compete with the other racers and stuff, then the film kind of just ignores that subplot until near the beginning of the climax. And I think the way this whole subplot is resolved is actually done in a pretty nice way, honestly. But even then, I do feel like the movie could have done a bit more with Djimon Hounsou. We even have his mother as well, who is literally played by Geri Halliwell. That's right, Ginger Spices in this movie, and she didn't really have a whole lot to do in this film. Just outside of reacts to her son, being in on the races and stuff. So yeah, Djimon Hounsou and Geri Halliwell, the film didn't really make a lot of use of them, honestly, as Yan's parents. But the way they resolved Yan's subplot with his father was admittedly done better than I thought. Now I don't really focus on any of the other racers aside from Yan, but we do have a bit of focus on this one racer named Nicholas Kappa. Any relation to Robert Kappa? And he was actually a pretty intimidating villain. That actor who plays him, I gotta say fair play to him, because the movie didn't focus on him too much, but for what we did get of him, the film did a good job of making this guy really unlikable and stuff. And yeah, you definitely do not like this guy. Yan also has a love interest in the movie, and I'll be honest, I wasn't really a fan of their love subplot. I felt like you could have just cut it out, I don't think it would have made that much of a difference, honestly. So the characters in this film, there was one or two I wasn't a huge fan of, but I think some of the main three characters were very good. Jack in particular, he is definitely the standout. The plot of this film, which is a loose adaptation of how Jan Barshenborough became a successful speed car racer. I know it did look like a very cliche and predictable plot and everything, but really, I think the film was all about how it was really about how Jan became how he was able to become such a good speed car racer. And from the trailers, it didn't really look like it was going to amaze me, to blow me away that much. But I'll be honest, I think the film was what it ended up doing with its plot. I didn't think it was all that bad. And then there's the narrative structure. Now, the film really focuses on Jan, building his way up through all of the races, and how it all leads up to him becoming a successful race car driver and stuff. And I thought the film focused on it well enough. I didn't know if there was any need for the whole subplot with him and his father, but even then they only focused on it in the first few minutes and didn't really focus on it much afterwards. And again, I wasn't a huge fan of Jan's subplot with his love interest. They could have cut that part out of the movie. But I'll admit, the whole subplot with Jack it was, again, I did not see it that coming. I actually really liked what the film did with that aspect of the plot. It fit in very well. I think of all the subplots in this movie, that one fit into the main narrative very well. So overall, Gran Turismo wasn't an amazing film, or not one of my favourite movies of the year. Overall, it was actually a pretty solid movie, and it was way better than what I was expecting. Now, again, it's not really it's not like an outstanding film. It's not one of the best films of the year. There are a few issues which I didn't mention in this review, like some stuff. I feel like some stuff really could have been cut out of it. I think overall, the way the main plot was told was done very well. I thought the main three characters were very good. Again, Jack was definitely the standout. The performances in the film were very good. I think particularly from Archie Madekwe and David Harbour. I thought the film had very good cinematography. It had like an even enough pace. Had a very good score. Overall, it was a solid movie. It was better than what I was expecting. It's not perfect by any means, but if you love Gran Turismo, if you love race like race car driving, or if you love like sports, or if you love a good underdog story, I think this will be one to check out. So with that, I'm going to give Gran Turismo a 7 out of 10. So with that, I'll see you guys next time, and bye.